Hello, my name's Neil Gussman. I was a sergeant in the United States Army until last month, and I first enlisted more than 40 years ago in 1972. So I've eaten a lot of different Army food. But recently I went on eBay where you can get anything, and I ordered Russian military rations, which I'd never eaten before. So in my eBay package, I got Индивидуальный рацион, питания, a 24-hour, basically an emergency ration issued by the Russian Army. They consider their field rations only in need. They usually supply their soldiers with food from field kitchens, but if they need rations, they get this. The American Army makes field rations a routine part of feeding soldiers. Now, the individual ration that I received main course is beef stew. So I got a meal ready to eat, an American MRE. Menu 9 is beef stew. So I'm going to compare what's in both meals. But the first thing to compare is this is one of 3 meals in a day. The Russian bag holds 24 hours of food. For the American soldier, one day is 3 of these. So I brought 2 others. The chili mac, which is the most popular of all, and spicy penny pasta, that if you eat a vegetarian meal, this is the most popular one. Now there's a lot of variety in MREs. There's 52 different MREs. There aren't as many different kinds of Russian rations, but again, they're not meant to be routine eating. They're just for emergencies. So I want to begin with the main course itself. I asked both of my sons and an F&M graduate, a young woman who graduated in 2014, to sample the beef stew, both from American and Russian rations. I put the Russian beef stew in a red bowl and the American beef stew in a green bowl, and they tried them.
This is a cracker. Harder than most crackers, though, and it tastes like yeast. But it's good.
Okay.
It's good to dip in your soup.
Okay.
Yeah. Looks like oil and beef. Yeah, this is good. I might try this all day. Wow. Yeah, this is actually pretty good though.
Got some crackers here that are harder than most, as Nigel commented. And they taste like yeast.
Okay. And then you have Russian Army beef stew.
There's a film on top. Good.
Yes, it's very greasy. But it's made for 19-year-olds, so.
Oh, good. Then it should be perfect. Oh, that's not so bad. It just tastes like salt.
Okay.
And like oil. And the beef is like very soft. It doesn't have body to it, but that's okay. It doesn't taste so bad. Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's fine.
See? It's not bad. Yeah, y'all got carrots and peas and potatoes and beef. Beef is soft, but it has gravy and That's good. And again, it's good to dip with crackers.
Guys, there's so much stuff in here. Like, it's more than just beef and water. I don't know what the other stuff is, but... Okay, something green, that's encouraging. Alright. Here we go. USA. It's surprisingly spiceful. Like, it's more than just salt and beef. I don't know. I feel like I would buy this at the supermarket in like a can of Campbell's or something. It doesn't taste distinctly like army food to me. Actually, I would eat this for lunch. More salt.
Oh no, I like that one.
Okay, so Chikari likes the Russian one better.
Yeah, because it's more salt.
I mean, you do get a salt package with your American beef.
And the result was they liked the boys liked the Russian beef stew better. It has more meat, it has more salt, and it has more grease. And they thought it was wonderful. The young woman was less sure. She liked both, but favored the American a little bit more. It certainly looked better than the Russian one. Okay, so the Russian main course came in this. It's Povadnia Tushenaya. So it's 250 grams, basically a half pound of beef and not much else in that container, which the boys liked very much. The American version, all MREs, the main courses come in a green bag like this one, which you heat by putting it inside this green bag. You add a little bit of water, which causes a reaction in the magnesium oxide inside this green bag. And then you put it inside the cardboard box that the beef stew came in. You lean it on a rock or something. It really says that right on the bag. Let it sit for 10 minutes and you have hot beef stew. The Russian rations are supplied with 3 heater tablets. You have 3 main course items: the beef stew, buckwheat porridge with beef for breakfast, kasha, and a potato side dish. So it's kartoffel z miasem. So it's potatoes with gravy. So you have 3 tablets, and you can heat each of these metal containers with the heater tablets. Now for side dishes, each have a mix of things. And again, this is to get a Russian soldier through 24 hours. There were 4 packs of krekeri, crackers, which my evaluators said tasted yeasty, a little harder than American crackers, but they liked them. Okay, also to get you through the day is 2 packs of chai, which is tea, and 1 pack of coffee for the morning. And to go along with that is 3 fairly hefty packs of sugar. So you can have very sugary coffee. If you have dirty water, you have Ulish charcoal filters. And there are wet wipes, sal and pepper, sal and perets, pepper, and pavidla, apple jam. There's also an apricot bar, a fruit drink. There's 100 grams of pâté, pashtet, that's included, which I guess you can eat with the crackers, along with 80 grams of processed cheese, sir. And one of the oddest things in here is ikra s kabachkov. So ikra is the Russian word for caviar. But while in English caviar means only fish eggs, in Russian it can also mean a sort of pasty substance. So this is not 100 grams of fish eggs in your field rations. This is 100 grams of squash paste, so not quite as exciting as real caviar. So that's what the Russian soldier gets to eat for 24 hours. The guidelines I read as far as the issuance of these is a Russian soldier can eat this for up to 6 days if there's nothing else available, but as soon as possible he should go back to eating real food. Okay, so the American soldier, in addition to the beef stew main course, gets to a moist towelette and extra salt if he needs it, gum for after his meal, a little bit of fruit juice powder, and hot sauce. Now, in addition, as a side dish, he gets raisin nut mix and cocoa beverage powder. You can put hot water in the top of this, shake it, and drink it right out of the bag. It's a self-sealing bag. There's also pretzel sticks, which are really pretty good. And then multi-grain wheat bread in this brown bag, strawberry jam, and peanut butter. Because it's for one meal, you get 1 spoon. And you'll note the spoon is long enough that if you open up the beef stew, you can eat it straight out of the top, right out of the bag. So it's a long spoon. The lushki, you get 3 spoons with your Russian rations, so you can have 3 different meals, and if you drop your spoon somewhere, you still got 2 others. So that's the American and the Russian rations, how they're different, how they're the same. From the parts that we ate, one of the things that's the same is these are made to keep a 19-year-old going who has a high calorie demand. Clearly that salty, greasy beef, which was very tender according to the evaluators, is a very high calorie thing, as are everything in here: peanut butter, jam, apple jam, pate, cheese, a can of cheese, a half a pound of potatoes with gravy on them. This is very substantial food for somebody who's going to be outside, which, of course, although I am in a studio, we've given it the feeling of being in a foggy woods, which is where you eat this kind of food. You usually don't eat this in a building. You eat it when you're out in a foggy wood and you don't know what you're doing next and you're really hungry. So that's American rations versus Russian rations. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, so we have one opinion here. Chaos loves Russian rations.